Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday afternoon, and welcome to episode 3 of Modern Midlife Women Live. I'm so excited to be talking to you today. It is a beautiful afternoon, though a little bit cold here in Atlanta, but it's nice and sunny, so I have lots of light in here. And this is my first time actually doing a live Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern. I wanted to see if this was a little bit better time for people with everyone's schedules. But I'm so happy that you're joining in today. And the topic is really all about strength, right? It's about strength. And especially when we're talking about midlife women, it's about reclaiming your strength and why strength and resistance training is really essential for midlife women. Like when we're getting to our late 30s and our early 40s, we really need to be paying attention to it. So that's what I'm going to be talking about with you all today. If you're joining now or if you're joining later on, I would love for you to just kind of drop a question in the comments and let me know, are you strength training now? And if so, what are you doing? What do you like to do? And if you are watching this on the replay, go ahead and put in hashtag replay. And when you put your comments down, I will make sure that I go ahead and check things. So hopefully I can see all the comments. I'm streaming today to LinkedIn, to my Facebook page, and to my YouTube channel. So hopefully I can see all the comments. And I know there will be a little bit of a time delay, so I will keep checking on them. But again, I mean, why really talk about strength training? So I'm 51, fully in menopause, and I have been doing strength training on and off really since my early 20s, so about 30 years. And even before that, I was always very physically active. In high school, I was into cheerleading. In college, was into cheerleading, but we were very aggressive, very competitive teams, winning state championships, going to national competitions. So being physically fit was very important, or I never would have been able to get through the routine. So back then, it was really a big focus on cardio. So going to the gym and jumping on the treadmill or the elliptical or the Stairmaster or going to step class, that was really my big experience with fitness early on. And then in the springtime, running as a member of the track team. So as I got older and I was joining gyms, I was in the workforce, then it transitioned really more to, I would say, lighter weights, experimenting with different things, going to some classes, doing some functional training, and really kind of mixing it up. But I would have to say is that I never really understood what the different types of fitness workouts were doing for me. So there was really kind of a mismatch between what I wanted to accomplish in terms of my fitness goals and the types of exercises that I was doing. And, I grew up, maybe I'm dating myself here, but I grew up in the generation of when, everything was low fat. Right? Do you remember Snackwell cookies, those disgusting things? Low fat, low fat, low fat, things that were supposedly sugar-free. So of course, all that means just a big chemical mess of processed foods. You think you're being quote unquote healthy eating diet foods. And, hopefully most of us know better that that's just not the case. I grew up with, watching the adults around me doing Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or Nutrisystem. So the messages around health that we were all getting is low fat, low carb, sugar free, and thin is in. That's what we wanted. There really wasn't a lot of messages around building strength for women. And yes, we be competitive and girls and athletics and all those things. But again, if we're talking about fitness outside of school sports, collegiate sports, it was really all about being thin. And what we know is that once you go ahead and you get into midlife and you start getting into perimenopause, in menopause, right? Things just don't work out the same. So for me, that was certainly the case. I mean, I really had to adjust my workouts, and I've still been going through an adjustment, and I'll share that to make things work for me, because the goal in midlife is to really maintain your weight, but you just can't do it by cutting calories. You just can't do it by doing a lot of cardio, right? Those things just don't work anymore. So I'll give you an example. One of my current clients, Melanie, I don't know if you saw my post 2 weeks ago when we had our last coaching session. Melanie was down 13 pounds and she was doing absolutely phenomenal. And one of the things that we did do is I looked into her fitness routine. And what I found is that she was lifting, but it was really more of like lighter weights and kind of more into the, functional weightlifting, or what I would say more of those boot camp type classes, right? Maybe thinking about Orange Theory. So what we did is we adjusted to get her back into more of a pure strength training. And that's really made a big impact on her results. So she's losing weight, but she's also gaining muscle. Because the goal now really should be, everybody wants, lean, sexy muscle, wants to be strong. Oh, excuse me about that. Wants to be strong, wants to be energized. We should be feeling sexy, right? These are things that we should be looking for in midlife. And what I want to do is I want to talk about, number one, why are we gaining weight in midlife, right? Why is this happening? What are some of the things that we can do in terms of getting that weight off? Meaning strength training, right? And so what are the benefits of strength training? And then maybe what are some easy ways to get started with it? Because I've talked to a lot of clients and they're very hesitant to pick up a weight. So I really, really want to address that here. So again, if you have any questions or any comments, please go ahead, pop them in there. I will take a look, and I'm also going to stay as long as it takes to go ahead and answer any comments that come up. So let's get started really with the benefits of strength training. So first of all, I want to talk about muscle health. So women, I've got a stat here. Let's see. So as of age 40, women experience metabolic changes that slow your metabolism by approximately 5% each decade, right? And due to changes in our hormones because of perimenopause and menopause. And again, it's not just about gaining weight. We're gaining weight in that midsection with our decline in estrogen. And it's what's called that visceral fat, right? Which is not just that subcutaneous, but it's that fat around the organs, that fat in the midsection that really does increase our mortality factors or incidence, cardiac events, things like that. So this is a health concern, right? It's not just necessarily about how we feel in the short term and how we're feeling about ourselves, but it's an issue long term. Now, when we talk about, where's this other stat that I put? Oh, this was shocking, but not shocking for me. We lose 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade after age 30. And of course, it accelerates by the time we hit menopause. And so once we're getting into menopause, most women have already lost 10% of their muscle mass. Wow. Why do we care about muscle? Muscle is the driving force, the engine behind our metabolism. Muscle is it's very hungry tissue. It's very needy tissue. It sucks up a lot of those carbs and calories, and it impacts our BMR, our basal metabolic rate. So the more muscle we have, the more active our metabolism is, the more calories we're likely to burn throughout the day, not just in an exercise setting. Right? So clearly, we want to preserve and maintain and grow muscle mass because we want to be able to be strong, and we want to be able to do things like lift our suitcase when we're traveling, and we're going to go, all the way through now till 30 years from now for me, right? My husband and I love to travel. If I can't carry my suitcase, if I can't get up clearly out of the plane, that's going to be a real hindrance in what I want to do, right? So maintaining that healthy muscle for just life activities, things that we want to do through our aging years and retirement. And then we need to talk about bone density issues, osteoporosis. like lack of muscle, right? That's declining muscle, that's sarcopenia. Bone density issues, that's osteoporosis. And so what do you always hear? And this is so sad. What happens when you have an aging relative and they break a hip? Oftentimes the recovery is very poor, if at all, and that leads to a quicker passing on. It really increases mortality, right? So what do you have to do? You have to keep strong, healthy bones. When you work out, when you lift, when you're using your muscles, that sends direct signals into our bones in terms of increasing bone density. It's one of the best things that you can do, right? Yes, we need calcium. Go ahead, drink your milk. I'm not talking about that, but lifting weights, getting stronger, that's a direct signal to our bodies to increase our bone density. And that we want that as well as muscle loss. So we've got bone and muscle health, cardio health, right? I'm not anti-cardio. I like to do cardio a couple times a week. I'm usually on my Peloton bike, or lately I'm doing rucking, which is kind of hiking with a weight, or if I'm on a treadmill doing something on an incline, I'm all for that. But that is not the main meal, right? That's the snack, right? The main meal is strength training. But when I'm strength training and I'm looking at my Apple Watch and I'm looking at my cardiac rate, man, my heart rate gets fired up. It gets in the 150s, 160s, 170s with some of those bigger lifts. So I'm getting plenty of cardiac benefit, even though I'm not doing quote unquote cardio exercise. Okay. Now, we talked about increases in metabolism, increase in BMR, right? Huge benefit there. Energy. Every woman who comes to me, either we're talking in the DMs or we're having a consultation, they're tired, they're fatigued. And it's not just they're tired when they get up, they're tired, right? Working out, expending energy through a physical workout gives you more energy. It's true. You feel so much better. It's just absolutely incredible how that can happen. And not only do you get energy, right? But from a mental perspective, you just feel so much better, right? Everything's firing up, your dopamine, your serotonin, you get that post-workout, oh my gosh, I feel amazing glow. I came back from a workout earlier this week. I told my husband, man, I just killed that. I feel incredible. I felt unstoppable. And that carried over throughout my whole day. What would that do for your professional life, right? Having that type of confidence, feeling that good, bringing on some joy, right? I think a lot of us, as we get older, we forget what it feels like to test our body, right? To be strong, right? I think getting into your body, feeling your muscles, feeling that strength, it's such a primal feeling. It feels really good, right? Because our strength, that we're not out there doing. A lot of us, we're in professional jobs, right? We're in offices, we're sitting around, we're not using our bodies as we work, and that is a really, really good feeling to get back to. And I've got, if none of these other benefits for strength training turned you on to the idea of, yeah, maybe I'll try picking up a weight, this one, ladies, I guarantee it. I get asked a lot about skin, aging skin, right? What can I do about my skin? It's getting thinner. I'm getting wrinkles. I'm getting more cellulite. And well, part of your seeing more cellulite is that your skin is getting thinner, right? So those dimples are popping up through. There was a landmark study in a Japanese university done in 2023, just 2 years ago, that showed that strength training, strength training builds up your dermal layers, these little fibroblast things. It's just firing. So every time you strength train, it's good for your skin. That skin is going to thicken. You're going to show wrinkles less, right? And then you're going to have that glow, right? Because you've just had a workout. So we want to talk about skin health, right? Pick up a weight. And then also for sagging skin, right? Think about it this way. The bigger and more well-rounded your muscles are, and I'm not talking big muscles, but I'm talking about nice muscle development, right? Some nice pipe action here going on. It's going to fill up that space underneath your skin. So you're going to have less sagging skin. So again, lots of great benefits to strength training, okay? Now, a lot of women, when I ask them about their routine and we start talking about strength training, they get really quiet or they get really hesitant. And they're just like, no, I don't think that's for me. So I dig into that a little bit. Why don't you think that's for you? What's your concern? What's your hesitation? And these are some of the things that come up. One, and the most common one is, I don't want to get bulky. Okay, I don't want to get bulky either, right? I think people have in their minds these women's fitness competitors, right? The really big ones who get really big muscles. Look, our bodies are not designed to get that big. And when you see women who are really big, and I don't want to get into trouble about this, but look, they're really working for it. Their nutrition is that way. Their fitness is that way. You know, they are pushing for those bigger, bulky muscles. Normally, a woman, normal doing strength trainings to get weight down, to get some more muscle, you're not going to get big and bulky. Okay. You're just not. That is a myth. The second thing that I hear about is injury concerns. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to get hurt. Well, the stronger that you are, the less likely that you are to have injury. Why? We just talked about it. Your bones are stronger, your muscles are stronger. So if you have basic strength, you're going to be less prone to accidents or injuries. You'll be able to recover better or faster from things. You won't get as hurt if something happens. Okay. What's another reason I have? Oh, I'm intimidated to go to that part of the gym. I like to go into the gym and I just go straight for the treadmill. Wow. I so get this. And I will say, I get this even more, even in the last, I would say, year. And so let me share something with you. I will never be a fitness competitor up on a stage. At least I do not see that. I'm not manifesting that in any way. It's just not my thing. I had enough stage time when I was in cheerleading in high school and college. However, I was intrigued with building more strength because of all the things that we're talking about here. And I had gained some menopausal weight as my hormones were fluctuating, and I wanted to kind of beat that back. So what I did is I found a kind of a fitness bodybuilder type community, and I got on one of those plans and I was doing the routines. And there was a lot of, now I've been doing a lot of like barbell lifting classes and lifting on the machines at work. But that area of the gym where all the muscly guys were, I didn't really explore. I felt very uncomfortable. Part of it is because the equipment is so different and it's so big, and I didn't know what I was doing. Well, I had to learn. So I'd go over there and I'd put on my Beats, and I'd have my app up and I'd have the video and I'd watch how I was doing it, and I would learn and do the exercise. Here's what I learned, right? First of all, nobody cares. Everybody is too busy doing their own workout to care what you're doing, right? And most people are really nice. Like I had a few times where I was doing things and I was like, hey, help, can I get some help over here? And I'd have like 4 people running over to help me, guys and gals. So people are just excited and happy that you're there because you're there doing something, you're lifting, right? It's a pretty actually friendly community. At least it is in my gym area. So don't be intimidated. Another thing is I really just don't know what to do, right? I am not a personal trainer. I do have fitness plans that I give to my clients and I help them work through things. But if you really don't know what to do, hire a personal trainer. You don't have to do it for a long period of time, but just long enough to say, hey, this is what I want. I want to learn how to do some really good basic routines that fit these goals, and have them take you through it. Simple as that, right? The last excuse I get, which is usually when I know we need some sort of a mindset retool. It's like, hey, I am too old to start doing this. I'm just not going to do this. So let me tell you something. Here's the truth. Number one, is it better to start strength training earlier, right? Is it better to start preparing for perimenopause and menopause earlier? Yes, absolutely. Because it's going to be easier for you to bounce back. That is a true statement. However, also true is that it is never too late to make a turnaround and start taking care of your health. Never, ever, ever. I'm 51. I fully anticipate I've got another 30 plus years of living left to do. So what's too late? If you're 60, this is another 20 years of living left to do. If you're 70, it's another 10 plus. So you're just going to sit out the decade, 2 decades, 3 decades and think that it's too late. It's not too late. It's never too late. I've seen plenty of I listen to so many podcasts and stories, and I'm part of a lot of communities. And the results that I see from women in their 60s and 70s when they start to put on muscle is absolutely fantastic. And they feel great and they're happy and they're out. And another one of the benefits, right? Mental cognition. Keeping your brain power. I have a family history, unfortunately, that includes dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. Brain health is a really big deal to me. And absolutely, I love it that strength training is a way that I can keep my cognitive health. So, all kinds of benefits there. Skin, muscles, bone, mood, cognitive benefits, right? There are so many great reasons to focus on strength training. Okay. So what I'd like to do is I want to share with you just what I think are just some really simple, practical ways to start strength training. Okay. Especially if you have no idea what you're doing. And if you can, drop it in the comments if you are brand new to resistance training and now you're like, okay, Jen, I'm going to give it a try. I really want to see that in there. So the first thing I would suggest is, number one, join a facility where you feel comfortable. You can go, they give free tours all the time. There are smaller boutique gyms. There are gyms for women only. There are larger health clubs that have stacks of personal trainers there. There are personal trainers that will come to your house, right? So find a location that makes you comfortable, number one. If you choose to go to a location, number two, go on off-peak hours. And my schedule got totally messed up this week. I went to the gym at 2:30 in the afternoon. It was deader than a doornail. I felt like I had totally had the place to myself. It was amazing, right? So go on an off-peak hour. Go on off-peak days. If you are starting only maybe with body weight strength workouts, right? Body weight only, body weight squats, body weight lunges. You can do those at home. Super simple. There's this great thing called YouTube. I have a channel there. And there are so many trainers that have free workouts on YouTube. It's absolutely incredible. And let me say this, and I'm going to plaster this down. If you have never done any sort of strength training routine, go see your doctor. Be safe. Make sure that you can do this first. Get your doctor clearance. Okay? Especially if you have never done it. Or if you know that you have maybe more than 20, 30 pounds to lose, if you have any sort of cardiac issues, high blood pressure, anything like that, please get your doctor's approval before starting any sort of workout routine. Everybody got it? Good? Excellent. So, but you can start body weight workouts in your house. And if we want to get a trainer, get a friend, get somebody who really knows what they're doing, and work out with them, right? It's going to be more fun. It's going to keep you more accountable, and you'll feel more comfortable because you're not just staring at this piece of equipment going, I have no idea how to adjust this thing. I have no idea what weight to put on it, whatever. But I will say, there are, some exercises that you can start with that you can just do at home. Like if you're not doing anything, start doing a push-up. If you can't do a regular push-up, do it on your knees. If you do it against the wall, if you progress out of that, but you can't do a full push-up, you're on your knees, but then drop your feet down. That gives you more weight, more resistance. Start some push-ups, right? Start standing. Just do some body weight squats. It's a compound movement, right? It's going to move your glutes, your quads, impact your hamstrings, impact your calves. So good, right? So just start doing something. Start moving your body somewhere. Let's see. So, resistance training. It's time. If you've never done it before, if you are in midlife and or you are gaining weight around your midsection, resistance training should definitely be one piece of the solution. And it is one piece of my total solution that I have in my signature programs where I'm working with clients, right? Resistance training is always part of the solution. And where they start on that journey depends on where they're at. And I meet them where they're at. And you need to meet yourself where you're at. Don't go out, go crazy, start going 5 or 6 times a week, and you've never done anything before. You're going to be too sore. You could hurt yourself, and you're going to be so disenchanted with the whole process that you might never do it again. Okay. So, to combat weight gain, lack of energy, right? Future issues with bones, with muscle strength, with cardiac issues, start doing some resistance training, right? And what I would say again is it is never too late to get started. Absolutely never, ever. And if you, sorry, I'm just looking for this one last stat here that I wanted to share. Trying to find it. Yeah, if you have never done it, just start. Ask for help. I'm happy to offer to anybody here. Just send me a DM and ask for it. I use the Peloton app all the time. I have a Peloton bike in my home, which is some of my cardio that I do at home. And then I also use that app in the gym. Like I do a 10-minute warm up when I get started on the treadmill, one of my favorite trainers, Kristen Ferguson. And then I'll go and I'll do my own lifting routine. But the Peloton app is an amazing app. It has everything. It has even meditations and stretching and strength and different boot camp at all kinds of different levels of activities. I've got a code that you can use where you can get 60 days free access to the Peloton app. So no matter where you are in your fitness journey, if you're interested in getting 2 months free on that app, just send me a DM and I'll send you the code and you can go ahead and try it out. Again, don't wait. Resistance training is a huge part of staying healthy because what we don't want, like going back to the beginning when I was talking about my generation, and people are constantly looking for these microwave fast solutions to losing weight. They're on a diet roller coaster. They'll try a diet, they'll lose some weight, and then they go back to doing exactly, what they did before and gain all the weight back. It's frustrating. It's no way to live. So I want you to learn this phrase. Number 1, it's called falling in love with the long game. You gotta fall in love with the long game. For your whole life, this is why you're doing it. You're not just losing the weight. You're not just losing the muffin top to go on vacation this summer, to fit in a dress for an event. You're not. You're doing this. You could be doing it for those things, and that's totally awesome to have short-term goals. But as long as you put it in your head to say, I believe in this, I have a plan, and I'm going to make this a standard that I live by every day. I'm going to be the type of person that cares for my body by doing exercise, by doing fitness, by doing functional movement, strength training, resistance training. That becomes your standard. That becomes who you are. And that's who it is for a lifetime. Because fitness is forever. Fitness is forever, right? So when you have that type of long-term approach, all the pressure is off. Start where you are and progress. Progress slowly. I will tell you a little secret here. So I told you that I've been doing, a lot of these different workouts and I'm very comfortable in any part of my gym right now. And one of the things that I was trying when I had joined that kind of bodybuilder community is they had these type of workouts, and I guess I'm going to advise kind of against these. They were what people traditionally call like a bro split type workout. What that means is that they'll have a workout schedule, and over the course of the week, your workouts are segmented kind of by body. So one day you might do upper body, and the next day you might do lower body, and the next day you might do, or maybe shoulders and back, and then the next day it's cardio, right? So there was this whole long, complicated routine process. I hated it. I completely hated it. I hated it because if I missed one day, I felt like I had messed up the whole week. Because if I missed leg day, then I wasn't going to do leg day again for another 4 days. And it would really throw me off. And it would make me very discouraged. So I really struggled to stay with that program. And then I realized that, this just doesn't work for me. So what did I do? I found a different routine, which is fantastic. What is it? It is, I do every other day, I do a total body strength training routine. In between those days, I do cardio. One day I'll do a long Peloton, low intensity bike with some hills. And then the next cardio day that I will do rucking, like I said, which is I'm on an incline on the treadmill. I have a 5-pound weight on my back and I'm walking, and I love that because I feel so good. I feel so powerful, and there is some strength involved. But I'm also then burning a lot of calories. I know in my strength training classes and my strength training, I'm burning a lot more and I'm increasing my BMR and everything. But again, I love cardio. Like I said, I'm not anti-cardio. I think it's great for my mood. It's still great for my heart. It's just not the main course, right? So doing these total body workouts, I've been doing them for 5 weeks now. I have definitely gained in strength. I have seen inches lost. I put on a pair of pants that I was like, wow, these are getting loose, right? So seeing progression and feeling really good and really proud of myself because I'm sticking to it. I'm having fun and I'm seeing results. Isn't that the best? I mean, why else would you do something, right? So I hope you enjoyed this episode 3. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the comments, or feel free to send me a DM. I've also offered up the 60-day free access to the Peloton app. And again, like I said, resistance training is one piece of the puzzle, right? Weight loss and metabolism slowing down in menopause is dependent on so many things. You're changing hormones and your metabolism and your sleep and all these things. So you really do need a multifaceted solution. And that's what I provide for my clients. So if you're interested in learning more, send me a message. We'll pick a time and we'll talk, right? You'll fill out a short survey in the beginning, ask a few questions. We'll get on. I'll ask you some questions about your goals. We'll dig in and talk about your habits, what you've tried before, what you like, what you don't, and we'll come up with a plan for you to consider. So I hope you enjoyed this episode 3. Look out soon for my next live, which is going to be really all about total menopausal weight loss and the different factors that go into it. And I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I was working on it today, and I can't wait to share that information with you. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and I will see you soon on episode 4.